On this side, we have the best MacBook you can buy, the 16-inch MacBook Pro. And on this side, we have the best Windows laptop you can buy. Well, one of the best, the Asus ROG Flow X16. Both are 16-inch, both are really good, but which one should you buy? I'll answer that by the end of this video, so make sure you watch the whole thing. Let's start off with the design, and obviously the winner here is the MacBook. I mean, take a look at this thing. It's absolutely phenomenal. Aluminium, gorgeous chassis, built like a tank. Wonderful to touch, wonderful to look at. It's one of the best looking laptops of all time, and I think it only loses to the original Razer Blade and the 2013 Retina MacBook Pro. It's not to say the Flow X16 is ugly, it's a beautiful device and it's not as gorgeous as the MacBook Pro, but it's still quite good looking. It's also very, very sturdy as well, despite being mostly plastic rather than metal like the MacBook. But there is one big advantage to the design of the Asus Flow X16, and that is that it's way lighter than the MacBook Pro. I think about a kilogram lighter. So if you're weak in the back, this is the option to go for. As for the speakers, I mean, this is just a hands down win for the MacBook Pro once again. Look, the Flow X16 has pretty decent speakers. It's just the MacBook Pro speakers make you feel like you're sitting in a cinema or a theater. Well, there's no two ways about it. The MacBook Pro just sounds way better. The MacBook Pro also wins on the trackpad. Look at that. That is a bigger, nicer piece of glass than, well, this and any Windows laptops you can find out there. It's also better integrated into macOS than, well, this trackpad is integrated into Windows. That's not to say the Flow X16 trackpad is bad. It's still really, really good. One of the best on Windows laptops. It's just that Apple has trackpads down on lock. Now, you will think that the Flow X16 is just losing and losing and losing, but it comes back swinging when we talk about the keyboard, because the MacBook Pro keyboard is quite nice, it's alright, but really it's nothing compared to the keyboard you get on the Flow X16. This is the best keyboard I've ever used on any Windows, if not any laptop ever. It's really good, it's crisp, it's tactile, and the travel is just nice. As for the screen, it gets a little bit more complicated because they're both so damn good. Both are 16-inch high refresh rate displays, 144Hz, 120Hz ProMotion, and they're both variable refresh rate. They both go past 1000 nits, support a HDR1000, and both are absolutely phenomenal, covering DCI-P3 color space as well as being Pantone certified for color accuracy. They've all been factory calibrated. So if you're doing color sensitive work, both are gonna do you really, really well. The MacBook Pro wins a little on brightness and natural looking colors, but if you want the maximum amount of saturation and punchiness, get the Flow X16. It's just, you know, more exciting to look at if you're just watching movies. The Flow X16 screen has one big advantage, however, and that is the fact that it's a touch screen and it's on a 360-degree axis, which means I can touch the screen, obviously, and use the PC that way, which is convenient for, say, taking notes with a stylus, and I can also rotate the screen and set it up however I want. For example, I can turn it from a laptop into a standing tablet. Look at that, just absolutely instantly. You can't do that on basically any MacBook ever made and that Apple ever will make, because Apple will never put a touchscreen on their laptops. While it's pretty even on the display front, when it comes to power efficiency, it's not a competition at all. The x86 chips in here do try their hardest to keep up with what you get in here. It's a RTX 3060, 125 watts by the way, with an 8-core, 16-thread Ryzen 6000 series CPU, but it just can't touch the efficiency you get with modern MacBooks. Now this one is the M1 Pro with a 10-core CPU and a 16-core GPU, but you can even get it with the M1 Max, 32-core GPU, 16-core CPU, that would still destroy any x86 laptop in terms of efficiency and battery life. The battery life on the MacBook Pro is just so damn good. I can work all day on my laptop without even worrying about looking for a charger, and I can do seriously intensive performance heavy work too. I'm talking things like video editing, color grading. I don't need to find a charger to have it operating at full maximum performance, which is unheard of when it comes to x86 laptops. If you're not plugged in with the x86 laptop, you're not going to be able to run it at maximum performance. That makes the MacBook Pro extremely versatile, but the Flow X16 is versatile in a different way. The MacBooks are versatile in that you never have to worry about a charger or battery life. The Flow X16 is versatile in that this rotation screen touchscreen combo means you can use it as a tablet, as a standing TV, as a overpowered Nintendo Switch if you plug in a couple of console controllers, for example. It is a lot more versatile with this screen, so it's pros and cons. It really depends on what exactly you need, what exactly you care about the most, what exactly are you doing with your laptop. If you really, really care about having the best battery life and not worrying about charger, the MacBook Pro wins on versatility, whereas this wins on just giving you options to set up your laptop in different ways. Also, because it's Windows and x86, it's going to support more software like gaming, making it more versatile in that way as well. As for the performance difference between the two, it's a lot more complicated to decide which one is better. That's because this uses a x86 chip and this uses a ARM-based chip. Because these two use drastically different computer architectures, it's very hard to compare performance. The best way to decide which one is the better performer for you is to ask yourself, what software am I going to be using on my laptop. What am I going to be doing on my laptop? If your software only supports x86 CPUs and only supports Windows, then, well, you kind of have to get something like this. This will perform better because, well, this can't run it. But if your software has been optimized and supports both of these softwares, just go for the MacBook Pro if you want pure performance, because it's been shown time and time again. If the software is optimized for macOS and the ARM-based M1, M2 processors, the M1, M2 processors basically almost always win, especially in terms of efficiency and value and performance per dollar. The Flow X16 has one trick up its sleeve that saves it quite a bit. On the left of the Flow X16 here, there's this little port. This is what ROG calls the XGM port, and basically you can plug in an external GPU, which is a big advantage for the Flow X16, which is sideways right now for some reason. This means that if this performance is not enough in the RTX 3060 GPU in here, you can plug in an external GPU and boom, your laptop suddenly has an RTX 4090 or 4080 or 3080 or 3070 or 3090. And through that, you can plug in another big display so you can have more performance for gaming or work or rendering or virtual machines or whatever, making it more versatile in the expandability front, whereas this is just the more powerful integrated package, assuming your software supports it. So then, which is the better laptop? Well, frankly, it really comes down to what you're doing on your laptop. If you're gaming or your software only supports x86 or Windows, the Flow X16 is one of the best choices out there. It's a really brilliant laptop with silent cooling, pretty good battery life for a Windows laptop, a brilliant, wonderful, amazing screen, extremely good versatility with the touchscreen and rotation functions. It's just a really good machine. But if you don't game, and your software or whatever work you're doing supports macOS and these new M1 or M2 ARM processors, just get the MacBook, because it's going to be more value, it's going to save you a lot of hassle with charging and battery life. That plus the fact that the MacBook Pro has a far superior set of speakers and trackpad, meaning you don't really need to bring a separate mouse or a separate pair of headphones to enjoy music or maybe hear audio clearly for video editing, content creation, or even music production. And last but not least, this has a fingerprint reader, which this doesn't. I prefer fingerprint reader to Windows Hello facial recognition. I don't want Windows to really know my face that well. All in all then, both have been excellent devices, but it has taught me one thing, this comparison. PCs are kind of screwed in the laptop game because they just can't keep up with the efficiency of the MacBook. And I think Apple is just one step from taking over the world. If they made MacBooks support games and made gaming on MacBook a thing, they would literally take over the laptop industry, because I think most of the people I know that hasn't swapped to MacBooks yet, they just haven't swapped because they want to play some games from time to time. Either way though, I'm not worried. AMD, Intel, Nvidia, Microsoft are full of geniuses who surely know how to catch up with Apple's amazing ARM revolution, and I can't wait to see what the PC industry has next as this uncertain ARM-based future approaches us. Anyway, it's good to be back. Make sure you like and subscribe. What do you think about this new style? Bye.